What's happening with it? Subscribe. It's hitting you right in the face right now. Look at that. Bam. If you didn't see that time, bam. Subscribe right in the face. Look, the like button. It will not hurt you. We got to smash the like button, peeps. I hate asking for it, man. I really do. But we got to get it going. We got to hit it. All right, look, man. So I'm going to bring it back to the prison stories on this one. If I can get this crap out of my face, it's gone. I want to talk. I really briefly talked about this in a live. I believe I was talking about the Vicky White and Casey White escape. I was talking about how women sometimes in men's prison systems, my personal opinion, I don't think if they're trying to clean up that whole thing, prison in general, I think it's a bad idea for them to work there. Not saying that they're not able to work there or nothing like that. They don't have the capacity to work there. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, man, if you hit things home, where they say follow the money and all that, that would clean it up. Now, me saying that, I'm going against the grain because, look, you're in prison. There's no women to look at all. It's a whole bunch of sausage party. Nobody wants that. And that's just what it is. So it's a 50-50 split, man. But a lot of violence does happen behind this, in my opinion. Now, why I say that is because women in a men's prison, and I'm sure everything I say in this video, trust me, it's not anti-woman or anything like that. I'm just giving it from my personal experience. I'm sure everything that I'm saying is the direct opposite in a woman's prison. Okay, I'm pretty sure of it. So I want to explain just sometimes something that I went through. Okay, now, and how dangerous it really is. I have a playlist on the YouTube channel. It's dedicated to this topic exactly. It's called Correction Officers, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or something like that. Check it out. It's got a lot of my older stories on there about COs and whatnot, whether it's them having me, having to fight somebody for them or whatever corruption it is involved. But when it comes to this topic, women have the ability to, they could really get in the head of an inmate, vice versa. A lot of guys, man, they will really do stupid things behind this. I never could really understand this concept, but I'll try to break this down. Like I said, you're in prison, you're crossing years off a calendar. You're not crossing days or weeks, okay? And the aspect of just seeing a woman is something different, something special. Like I said, it's a sausage party in there to the fullest. So every inmate, they do the same thing. Everybody wants to talk to the CO, and it puts her in a really weird spot because she's got a job to do. She's got eyes on her like that. And, her coworkers are looking at her, especially if she just started. And those are the worst ones. Those are the ones that get directly targeted first. If a woman first starts, her coworkers are looking at her, her bosses are looking at her, and every inmate is looking at her, and it's, there's so many factors that come into this. I don't know what the coworkers and the COs are looking for or in her. But if an inmate is going to look for weakness, is she scared when she's walking around the dorm? Everybody is scared in prison at some point. Was I? Yeah. A few different times. Especially when things would happen, stuff would pop off. Absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't know what the outcome was going to be. Absolutely. Walking into a prison, even if you've been there before, it's intimidating. So keep that factor in for a woman. She's working, she's passed the course, whatever comes in. Guys look for that weakness, man. They look for that, and they're gonna jump all over it if they see it. And then it's always the same thing: weakness, scared, and there's the manipulative factor that comes directly behind this. Comfort her, make her feel a little comfortable, joke with her, break the ice a little bit, and then small favors. Small favors could add up to something simple, man. Something simple, something that will not get her in trouble. Maybe she's not supposed to do it, but nothing big time trouble. Like for an example would be, just seeing where she's at, walking to the window and asking for a Tylenol. You're supposed to get one. You sign your name, you give your ID. It's a little med packet. You're supposed to get one every certain amount of hours. And if you can hit her for an extra one, she's not supposed to do it. But if you just did that, then if you just made her do that with your talk game, then you got her to break the rules of the institution. So it adds up from a little thing like a Tylenol to women CEOs don't make a lot of money. They just don't. And no CEOs do. Even if even sergeants and whatnot. And I'm saying it's not a good career. I'm not saying that has some great benefits, but hourly wage, it's not near what it should be. And there's a big gap in people to fill these positions. I don't know why they don't pay them. I have no idea, but everybody could use a little extra. Whoever you are watching this on whatever platform, shout out to Twitch, shout out to DLive, shout out to my YouTube members, subscribers, and supporters. You all work, but you go to work and you get your 40 in, maybe get some overtime. We all could use a little extra at the end of the day. It's not really people think about bringing stuff into a prison like it's this big dramatic thing. Think about it. Think about this for a second. You're going to work. Okay, you're going to work. You do your job. You already have to be there, right? You got to clock in and you got to be there. You're already going to work. Okay, all you're doing is bringing something as simple as maybe some cigarettes in. Cigarettes, it's not illegal, right? It's not illegal. It's illegal if you're under 18 to buy them, but if you're over 18, you can buy them, whatever. She's bringing that to work and she's giving it to somebody, and then it's up to him how he's going to treat her. But obviously, if he doesn't do her well, right, good, she's not going to do it again. Get something going. But the problem is with that is everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows from the beginning. Everybody knows. Everybody remembers when she walked in that dorm and she was scared. You approached her. You did the small talk. People were watching when you were asking for that Tylenol pack. They sure were. 4 or 5 people were watching. And then 4 or 5 people told somebody, and then they told somebody, and then they told somebody. It's a big gossip fest in there. It's a land of alpha male bullies, all that, but it's also high school dramatics on steroids. So, people have been peeping the whole play the whole time. Now you got the cigarettes in. Are they going to tell on you? Not really. Not really. Some will, some can. It doesn't always work like that. What happens is, why? This is a steady source of tobacco in the dorm. Everybody in prison wants to smoke. After any meal, either it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner inside the prison system, when you get back to the dorm, it's like a cloud of smoke you're walking through. It's illegal. There's no smoking inside a prison or outside. But it is the COs already know. They already know. And a smart CO just sits back and acts like they're not paying attention, and then they come shake down an hour later because they've seen who's selling the cigarettes. I used to sell cigarettes inside of there. It was the main money right there. Okay? I wasn't getting off a lady CO, but I'm just saying it's perfect time. There's no competition. Everyone's smoking. I never smoked, but this is cigarettes. They're always going to go. Yes, it's illegal for her to do it. If he breaks her off, good. It's going to keep going. But if the dorm has cigarettes now, everybody knows. Like I said, they've been watching this dude. They're not going to mess that play up. Because now, there's so many factors that come behind this. I need people to pay attention right now. The same guy that was watching when the Tylenol pack was getting given out, or when he initially approached the woman because she was new on the job, there's been this guy. He's just been watching the whole time. Now he knows literally she's bringing him cigarettes. He can approach whoever it is, and his top game now, he's going to manipulate a manipulator. Okay. So he's going to pretty much let the guy know who's got the cigarettes that he knows the whole play. And in so many words, so many things. Now, most people would say, well, then the dude should just smash his face in because it's none of his business and this and that. No, he doesn't want to do that because he's going to mess up a lot of money. So he's forced in a situation where it's tough. It's politics. Now he's got to understand that this guy knows his business. He understands what's going on. He could snitch on him. He's got to work something out with him. I mean, it depends. It depends on each person. Okay, I'm just telling you how these things go. All right. Another instance is So many things can happen here. If gangs get involved, if gangs see it, now they're going to apply pressure to the woman. And what happens is, usually one dude will speak for the gang. Okay. Usually he's done stuff with COs in the past, but he's going to approach the CO almost in the same manner as the one inmate that was watching the whole time and kind of like told the guy that's getting the cigarettes, hey, I know what's going on. I know she's bringing it in. He's putting that guy into forcing him into almost a position where he's got to at least give him a couple of cigarettes a week to sell. So this guy can now make a few dollars, bring the money back to this guy. But it would have been better if there's no him. The gang is going to apply the same thing to the CO. They're going to straight up ask her because they know she's down for the ride. She's already bringing in cigarettes to this guy. Now, low key, she kind of likes the guy. They joke and stuff. But now the gang is going to be like, what's happening? And what could she say? If she says no, they're going to throw that in her face. Now, it's all behind the scenes, not in front of other COs. So it's got to stir in her mind. She got to think about it. Okay. It gets very political. Okay. That's what I want to strictly. Very dangerous game to do this path. All right. And let's take the cigarettes thing completely out of it. Let's just say you are a lonely person in prison, which most people are. And you feel that out of 2,000 men, in your position, you as an inmate, you have nothing going for you. You're sitting inside a state prison, but you are working out and you are getting tattooed. You're buff with tats, and you got a good little talk game to you. But you think that somehow, some way, you are going to get this chick up under your belt. You're going to scoop her up. You're going to just get inside her head so hard. There's 2,000 plus other inmates competing with you every single day of the year. Not to mention guys on the outside. I don't know. The ones that go to work and have income and assets. You're going to compete with that. Sometimes the fascination gets so crazy with the inmates, they literally think they can take the chick from the husband. Now, sometimes it works. Don't get it twisted. But what I'm saying is, it's more than a crush. It's an infatuation with the women is what happens. I've seen it play out time and time again right in front of me. And this is the type of violence inside of prison that is very, very bad. It's not somebody ripped you off over on the gambling table. They didn't pay their debt. It's not that. It's not somebody got a problem with you, man, and they stole something from you. You have to grid now. You have to get up there and fight on the wall. No, all that is way less tension. It's not you disrespected somebody. It's nothing like that. This is right up there with the punks, the homosexuals, where there is a flaming homosexual. They call him a punk, sissy, whatever. He's got a boyfriend on the inside, and the punk cheats. There's infidelity on the inside. Now the punk finds a side piece, some strange, if you will, and does his thing. And the boyfriend now finds out, and boy, oh boy, grab you some popcorn, sit down somewhere, but just watch your surroundings because it's about to go down. They're about to tear the dorm up. Bad. That's the same scenario here, okay? Because people, I don't know what it is, man. This is an infatuation. I've seen it. So I'm just giving you a backstory real fast. Now let me get into something that happened with me. Nothing on the severity of what I'm talking about. There was a few COs, and going back to the live that I said, there was a few COs that maybe I could have asked them for things, okay? Maybe. There was one that I was comfortable enough with. I just didn't. And I always would tell myself exactly what I'm saying in this video, not out loud. I'm in prison. And what I'm saying in this video is stuff that I've witnessed, myself. I always remind myself, exactly what I'm saying, man. And so many times I'd have to do it. I didn't want to get stuck. I didn't want to get infatuated because, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I started catching a little bit of feelings. Now, listen, this lady was just kind of talking to me a little bit here and there. It was nothing serious, but that's what I mean. Like, this hadn't been around a woman so long, and I just, she was jailhouse cute. I don't know. So when she would come in, I just caught myself doing things, being a different way, and always trying to make her laugh. Just certain different things. Now, I could have got. I think to this day I probably could have asked her for something. Now I don't know how that would have went for me. It could have either went really good or really bad. I don't know. So I stayed clear from it. I didn't have much time. And both these ladies that I'm speaking about, this stuff happened towards the end of my bid. So I really didn't want to get into any extra trouble as it is. But this one in particular, the reason that there was anything there to begin with is because I got out of confinement one time. I was in this dorm called H dorm. They called it horror dorm, horrific dorm. It was bad, horrendous dorm. These guys had like 20 plus years or better, 15, a lot of stories on the channel. Check them out in the gang playlist or whatnot. It was rough times. Going back to the beginning of this video, I said, are people scared in prison? Hey, look, that was one for sure. I had to lie about how much time I had left, this and that. It was just a tough dorm. So I get out and I get out of confinement and they put me in this dorm. And that's how I met her. That's how I knew her. But the way it started is she says, hey, Officer French says you got knives. Keep in mind, I go to confinement because I got caught with a knife. And the reason for that is because of H dorm. H dorm, it was a bad dorm. I tell you, a lot of time back there, people. A lot of time. I'm talking to people. I'm seeing what's going on, and this was just somewhere I shouldn't have been. And these guys just had a lot of time, man. 9 times out of 10, if you belonged in this dorm, you had at least 20 years or better to serve. The only reason that I was in this dorm, okay, with less than 5 years, is at the time I had caught a few DRs, and what happens is your custody goes up. You hear it all the time. When someone escapes or something, you say, "Oh, this inmate escaped," blah blah blah. In the news, minimum security prison or medium security prison, maximum. At the time I was medium, but I caught a few DRs back to back, putting me upping it from medium to higher. That's why I am stuck with these guys. So of course I got a knife, and I've told the story many times. Meat and potatoes on this one is the guy that was my cellmate during this time had a cell phone, and somebody was trying to snitch on him. They sent the police to our room. They did it right after a count. Matter of fact, count didn't even clear yet. The Sarge walks by, but the guy with the phone, he was up on it. He never really had the phone in the room like that. Now, when nighttime would roll around, he'd get on it. It was crazy. I remember being in prison, and I remember this guy literally ordered his wife and kids a pizza and her some roses from H dorm. I'll never forget that my whole life. But he would rotate it. People would hold it down. So when they hit the room, they came because of his phone. But guess what's in my pillow? Or excuse me, my mat, the knife. And they were really looking hard for that phone. So now I go, and obviously when I'm in confinement, the COs know what I'm back there for. So when I was about to get out of confinement, the confinement officers knew where I was going. And there's stories on the channel about what happened in confinement. And make a long story short, word got to her. She knew that she knew that A, I could make a knife, B, I'm not scared to have one, C, I've had one before. So she when I came into this dorm, that's how the playing started. So she was, that was the first conversation. She goes, "You don't have no knives in here, do you?" And I'm like, "No, not in this dorm. I don't need them." And so the playing came along, the joking and this and that. I would give her, she would walk around and I would give her, a whole bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses pamphlets to read when she was working. So I got a present for you here. I went to the chapel. And she'd be like, "What is this?" Stupid jokes. One time so I'll give you an example. One time I was joking with her. She had just got to work. It was shift change. So the COs, they changed shifts. She came in and they immediately did a count. When count cleared, we're now waiting for chow that night, but she walks around the dorm. And what I did is I got but I saw her walking and I laid down and I put a thing over my eyes and I put this in my pants. So the joke was, I'm thinking, okay, she's going to think I got like some morning wood, right? But really in my head, I was like, she's going to think I have a giant sausage, right? So she she walks by and she does like a triple take. Everyone started cracking up. She's like, just walking by. She's like, and then I'm just like, because I could hear everybody laughing, and she peels off. So, I start cracking up. Of course, I told her, "Hey, look, I'm not really packing like that, but here's the meat and potatoes." A few weeks roll by. She comes and does the same type of walkthrough, and everybody's waiting on chow. So she acts like she's searching me. She starts going through all my stuff. And when an officer does that, you cannot leave the bunk. Okay. So, as she's ripping through all my stuff, it's kind of like a way a CO can get everybody out of the game room. Okay. So my existing bunkies around me, they had to go kick rocks somewhere. So now like a little personal talk with me and her. I got to sit there with my hands behind my back, not with cuffs on, but just give her the respect as she's looking through my stuff. And she's scrummaging through all my stuff, and she goes, "Hey, I need a knife." Now, no one can hear us. Again, back to the whole Tylenol pack, and when that one lady was scared, people are peeping. It's prison. People are nosy. But no one could hear because they kicked them away. And she's like, "I need a knife." And I'm like, "Oh, are you kidding me?" I'm like, "For what?" She's like, "There's a dude on the other side of the dorm, and he keeps calling me a cracker bitch." And I'm like, "Man, nah, man, I'm not giving you a knife, man. What are you going to do with it?" She's like, "I'm just going to plant it on him." And I'm like, she's like, "I got you. Come on." She's like, I got you. I'm like, all right. And I told her, I didn't give it to her. There's no way I could have. But it was chicken night this night. And every Tuesday in the Department of Corrections in Florida, they give you chicken. Okay. Everyone's going to get that chicken. Everybody. Some dinners people will skip. They used to serve, at one point, they served liver and onions. Not many people went for that. And trust me, you wouldn't want to go because it would come out green sometimes. No, seriously. I'm not joking. The liver and the onions. But everyone would go for the chicken. Now, I told her where it was. Okay. I told her exactly where it was located. But the problem was I had to go tell somebody that I was probating for at the time what the play was. He was 100% okay with it because of the fact she came to me and asked for it. Now we have everything that I'm explaining in the video now to this point applies to us and the dudes that I was with. Back to the gang members asking the CO if there's dope to be brought in or whatever else. Because now we're in the mix with her. Okay. Now she asked for something illegal, gave it to her. Went to get my chicken. Told the bros that I was with, it came back, it was gone. And the next thing you know, a few hours go by, I'm on one side of the dorm. There's 80 men on this side, 80 to 100 on this side. The officer station's in the middle, and 80 to 100 on the other side. Next thing you know, cops come running in and take a guy out, and it was some gang member. Whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. He went. Did I feel guilty? No, because listen, I was up in that infatuation stage. It's very hard to explain this. But if I wasn't playing with her, that wouldn't happen. If I wasn't flirting with her, that wouldn't happen. Let me tell you something. I try to explain this with other guys, and unless you experience this, it might sound wild, crazy, or out there. With me, okay, with myself, I did start to kind of feel, in a weird way, some type of connection. Okay, and I had to check myself. But this happens to a lot of guys. It really does. I was able to check myself. Say, dude, what are you thinking? Okay, stop. I was able to control it and stop. Now, the other chick, it didn't even get that far. We would just joke a lot and flirt, but and through conversation. No favors, nothing like that. And the only reason that happened is because a few of my bros were like, dude, she's always staring at you when you're working out and when you're working out the dorm. So I'm like, nah. And they're like, look at her. And I look up and we catch eyes, and then I would feel weird. Like, okay. So I'm just trying to explain this thing here, man. But dudes get caught up on this a lot. It's wild. What happens, man, here in a nutshell is what happens is the violence level is crazy. Okay. Now take my example for a second. Okay. If I start to catch all these feelings, okay, and I think I'm the man, and I think that that's my girlfriend. It goes from girlfriend to that's my wife. Okay. Now we are now leaving. She is officer. I am inmate. Okay. Now I am husband and you are wife. Okay. Now your wife is talking to another guy in another dorm. So it's like the aggression comes. Hey man, why are you talking to her, man? Blah, 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 blah. No inmate is not going to jump at the very second on this. It's very hard to explain. The shampoo story. Okay, look, I tried to say I was packing this. Okay, shout out to Ron Jeremy, but I wasn't. Just joking, playing, and in all honesty, the outcome and the end game on this was I got moved out of that dorm. Okay, away from this chick. Never seen her again. Actually, I did. I seen her again. I got moved to another part of the prison. Okay, and what happened after that is there was a whole another group of COs. Every so often they would swap out, and I would then see her over there. And I remember the first time I saw her at the new part, I was like walking up with my chest high out, this and that. And she was like, "What's up?" And it was just weird. I don't know what happened with my bros. I set it up for them to do whatever they could after that. I wasn't around them. I wasn't talking to them on a daily basis. So who knows what happened, if they blew it, if they used it. I don't know what I started, and I don't even want to know. But that's the things I'm trying to explain. That's how it happens. This is, in a nutshell, okay, this is Casey and Vicky White. Now, they had history. I think they may have knew each other at some point. But what I mean is, just imagine, okay? And on the other, just imagine, it builds up. Now, on the other side of things, I'm not a woman. I don't think like a woman. So I cannot explain the way that women think, okay? Leave it in the comments, ladies. But I do think that the common sense on this one is a correction officer, a woman correction officer who's working in a prison. It would be hard for her not to look at muscles and tattoos all day, regardless of if she's married or not. Okay, it would be hard. Just as it would be hard for a man to work in a woman's prison and look at boobs and nakedness all day. Okay, I'm just saying. Now, maybe there's some marital problems on the woman's end. Maybe there are most women, to be honest, are married to some correction staff inside the prison, to be honest with you. Not all, but most. There could be problems there. A lot of hours worked. They could have inner issues. And maybe they're finding comfort inside of a slick talking inmate. I don't know. But all I'm telling you is it does happen. Another reason that I'm strongly against women working in prison. Again, I'm not on no women can't do the same jobs as guys do, or women's rights or nothing like that. If you really want to know, the first time I was in prison, I caught the outskirt of a riot, which is the worst possible outcome of you being in prison. It's not cool. It's not nice. It's very dangerous. It's something I would never want to experience, and I would never want my enemies to experience in life. I was getting away from the riot. I was trying to figure out what's going on as everyone was running around. They shot a couple shotguns in the air. The warning shots, I'm sorry. And I saw guys running everywhere. There was COs running towards the rec yard. And I told this story before. But there was a woman there that she was pregnant. I don't know why she was working. I don't know why she didn't have pregnant leave or whatever, maternity leave. I don't know why. But during this riot, she got kicked in her stomach very hard, and she lost her kid. I don't know why. And her husband was working at this prison. Okay. I saw that. I just think that it's a tough subject to talk about, because you can't replace it. You have to let women work there. There's not enough men and women at these places. They're not getting paid enough. If you take the women out, you're down so many numbers. It's very tough to talk about, but this is my reflection on it. Check out the playlist. Shout out to my members. Shout out to my supporters. I'm actually doing this one on Twitch first, people. Shout out to Avenue Ping Pineapple. Are the Pac-Mans in prison like a game room or something? They don't have Pac-Man in prison, but they have game rooms, but they all suck. We don't want to go there. But shout out to you. I appreciate you. I'm doing it on Twitch. You never know what I'm going to do over here, but my members always get it first. Man, shout out. Check out the link tree. Join the members if you can. Bit of a long one. We're going on 36 minutes. I'm going to jump off here. I appreciate everybody, man. I respect everybody. And check out the Twitter as well, man. Look, it's at WHITEBOYRADIO. You see at the bottom on Twitch or Twitter. It's hitting you right in the face right now. Bam. Subscribe with it, man. We got this. Try. And listen, man, until the next one, I'm out.
I could care less about that attorney and whatever he feels and thinks about. That family has ignored phone calls. That girl used to live there.